In Israel, the war is watching back. Cameras meant for safety now feed a kinetic-cybernetic hunt, where breaking systems means harming people. As shadows map targets in real time, the battlefield turns invisible. So tell me, when your own surveillance sees you first, where do you hide? A new front in the war between Israel and Iran is rapidly expanding, one where surveillance feeds and cyber intrusions are being weaponized for real-world targeting. According to the head of Israel's National Cyber Directorate, Iran and Hezbollah are running a coordinated campaign to hack Israeli security cameras to gather intelligence for targeted assassinations. Director General Yossi Karadi described this as part of a kinetic-cybernetic strategy, integrating digital intelligence with battlefield outcomes, including improving missile accuracy and identifying human targets.
Iran is attempting to mirror prior Israeli operations against Iranian leaders, military commanders, officials, and even nuclear scientists, harnessing its cyber capabilities not just to cause digital disruptions, but to collect information that would enable physical harm. The campaign includes attempts to cause real damage, including improving missile accuracy, as well as targeting security officials, their family members, academics, and scientists.
Karadi underscored that the objective extends beyond cyber disruption to direct physical harm.
I'm not talking about breaking into a computer. I'm talking about actually succeeding in harming people. No such attack has succeeded to date due to intensive Shin Bet counterintelligence efforts.
Israeli officials say at least 61 recruitment attempts of Israeli citizens and 25 foreign influence operations have been detected since the war began on February 28th. Around 50 significant cyber disruption incidents have been recorded, more than double late 2025 levels, with over 50 Israeli firms reportedly having their data wiped in sophisticated attacks. Karadi warned that Iran's cyber campaign operates at an unprecedented scale.
No country in the world faces a comparable scale of threats, with more than 20 Iranian cyber attack groups deploying hundreds of operatives across a string of fronts. I am also concerned about the years-long transfer of cyber capabilities from Russia and China to Iran.
Despite early war airstrikes targeting Iranian cyber infrastructure, including facilities linked to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the pace of cyber attacks has persisted, even during periods of internet disruption inside Iran. Karadi further cautioned that as battlefield gains remain limited, Tehran may increasingly seek symbolic victories in cyberspace.
The more Iran struggles to achieve real wartime gains, the more it will seek a digital victory image. The need to raise awareness and increase oversight of web construction, engineering, and software providers, which have become regular targets.
Among the most concerning elements is the exploitation of civilian infrastructure, including home and public cameras, for surveillance and targeting. Officials say dozens of such systems have already been compromised, although most breaches were contained. As cyber operations merge with kinetic warfare, this conflict is increasingly defined not just by missiles and airstrikes, but by the invisible infrastructure that connects everyday life. Iran has escalated what is already one of the most intense military confrontations the Middle East has seen in years. On March 6th, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, launched the 23rd wave of Operation True Promise 4, and this time they brought something new to the fight. The Corps announced the deployment of what it called new generation missiles, striking targets it says span multiple countries. In a statement, the IRGC said,
"In this wave, new generation solid fuel and liquid fuel missiles targeted objectives in the occupied territories and American bases in the region."
The targets named were not small. The IRGC listed American military installations in Bahrain, Kuwait, and Jordan.
The headquarters of U.S. terrorist forces at the Sheikh Issa, Jufair, Ali al-Salem, and al-Azraq bases were among the targets struck in this wave.
Inside Israeli territory, the Corps said it struck what it described as advanced technology centers, cybersecurity facilities, and military support centers in Be'er Sheva, the southern Israeli city that functions as the country's high-tech and defense nerve center. Earlier waves of the same operation involved some of Iran's most advanced hardware. The IRGC confirmed the use of the Khorramshahr-4, the K-Bar, and the Fatah missiles, weapons that analysts have long flagged as some of the most sophisticated in Iran's arsenal. The Corps claimed those earlier strikes had also hit deep inside Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, and had reached as far as the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier and a US Navy destroyer operating in the Indian Ocean, hundreds of kilometers from Iranian shores. While the missiles were flying, Iran's military was also making itself very clear with words. Brigadier General Abul Fazl Shekarchi, the spokesman for the General Staff of Iran's armed forces, appeared on national television Friday evening and delivered what can only be described as a series of sweeping, unambiguous warnings. He started with Iraqi Kurdistan. In remarks directed at the semi-autonomous region's leadership, Shekarchi said,
"If you cooperate with the United States and the Zionist regime, we will crush you. You will be trampled under our feet and will never enjoy security again. We will strike all the infrastructure and facilities of this region. We will show no mercy to our enemies."
Then he turned his attention to the United States itself, and his assessment was pointed. He argued that Washington had already exhausted its military reserves, saying,
"They have tested all their weapons. They have even brought out weapons that had been stored away for a Third World War, yet they are still facing shortages. The U.S. military is a demoralized and exhausted force."
Shekarchi claimed that 14 American military bases have now been struck by Iran across the region, and said the damage is generational.
The current condition of these bases is such that many of them cannot be rebuilt for at least the next 5 years. Many of them have been turned into ruins.
On the Strait of Hormuz, he confirmed that Iran has not shut down the waterway entirely, but warned that vessels linked to the US or Israel will certainly be struck. What makes this moment worth watching closely is not just the scale of the strikes, but the pattern. Iran is messaging to its neighbors, to regional governments hosting American bases, and to the wider world that it sees this conflict as open-ended. Shekarchi said directly,
"Countries in the region must understand that U.S. bases bring them insecurity rather than security."
23 waves in, with new missile systems, fresh threats, and a general on-television warning of more surprises to come, the only thing that seems certain is that Friday was not a ending. It was a signal. As Tel Aviv reels under Iranian cluster bombs, it might also be paying a price in the skies. According to multiple reports, Israel is losing drones over Iran. According to the Middle East Eye, the IRGC said it intercepted an Israeli Heron unmanned aircraft over Isfahan, one of the largest reconnaissance drones in Israel's arsenal, claiming it was brought down largely intact. Iran's state TV reported that another Israeli Hermes drone was shot down near Tehran the same day. Neither loss has been acknowledged by the Israeli military. Based on open-source incident records and compiled conflict trackers, at least 7 Israeli drones have been reported shot down or lost over Iran since March 1st. The majority were reconnaissance UAVs, such as Hermes 900 and Heron 1. The shootdowns point to something Iran has been trying to demonstrate since the war began on March 1st, that its air defenses, despite taking heavy punishment, are still capable of hitting back. The IRGC said on March 6th that it had also downed an American MQ-9 drone over Loristan province, adding to a growing list of losses that Washington and Tel Aviv have largely stayed silent on. The IRGC has warned that the new weapons have been deployed and that upcoming phases of the conflict would deliver severe strikes against its adversaries.
In total, more than 2,000 Papad missiles and more than 600 missiles have been fired against American positions in the region and Zionist targets in the occupied territories. More attacks against our country's enemies continue. The constant sound of shelling and the long-term imprisonment of the population in the occupied territories in the shelters in the last 100 hours of the war shows the steadfast and well-managed spirit of the Iranian regime for the hard revenge of the terrorist criminals.
On the ground, the Iranian Red Crescent reported damage to 14 medical facilities and 9 of its own centers since the war began. Iran's Martyrs Foundation put the death toll at 1,230 as of March 6th. Israel's military has painted a different picture. Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Eyal Zamir claimed his forces have dismantled roughly 80% of Iran's air defense network and disabled more than 60% of its missile launch capability across 2,500 operations involving over 6,000 munitions.
The IDF, together with the US Army, began attacking strategic targets in Iran. We are ready and in high operational readiness on the defense as well as the offense. We're facing a significant, crucial, and unprecedented campaign to eliminate the Iranian terror regime's capabilities that pose an ongoing existential threat to the security of the State of Israel.
The war is also dragging in neighbors. Azerbaijan confirmed on March 6th it was pulling its diplomatic staff from Tehran and its consulate in Tabriz after drones struck an airport and a school in its Nakhchivan exclave the previous day, wounding 4. Iran denied firing them, pointing the finger at Israel instead. Azerbaijan's withdrawal marks the first diplomatic rupture of the war, a sign that the conflict's shockwaves are now reaching well beyond the Middle East.